Welcome to our Monday bonus episode where I ask each guest one powerful question. What's something they stopped apologizing for that helped them level up in their business or life? Let's listen to what Elizabeth has to say.
That is a great question. I don't know if you're going to like my answer because I was not an apology person, if you know what I mean.
I know what you
Don't mind
mean.
I say that. In the sense that I've always followed my intuition, and people sometimes say, "Oh, what would you tell your younger self?" Or like what you're asking, if you could go back and what did you stop doing? And I would tell my younger self, "Good for you for listening to your intuition, because it's brought me in so many different directions." I loved figure skating as a fan, and I followed my intuition to take the steps to be able to get into that business without being a figure skater and be able to represent Olympic champions and travel all over the world doing figure skating shows, tours, and competitions. My intuition was leading me to move to Spain, despite the cross examination from my father and other people. Like, what in the world are you going to do there? But something inside of me was saying, "Go, do it," and I listened. So there was no need to apologize per se. I followed my instincts and followed my intuition and took those steps. And I'm glad that I did. And that there was no, making excuses for myself. And when I first moved to Spain, it was 2011, and people were saying, "Oh, you're crazy to come here. We're in a crisis. These are crises. Estamos en un crisis that you're never going to find a job." I know I was laughing. So you're never going to find a job. And I used to say to them, "Your crisis has nothing to do with me. I'm here for something else. So I'm here to see if I can build a life. Let's see what happens. I don't even know why I'm here, but I'm here." So there was no apologizing for being there, for trying to get a job, for trying to get residency and follow what I wanted to do. My intuition was saying do it, so I paid attention and I did it.
Ah, that's awesome. And I love your answer. And here's why. When I started the podcast and I told people why I was doing the podcast, is like I'm like, I've never been apologetic about going after my dreams, about doing what I want to do. Has always been a good choice? No, but I don't apologize for doing what I want in the sense of a dream, an opportunity. I feel the fear and
There's
I
a
do it
reason that you
anyways.
want it. That's what I would say. I tend to think that if there's something you want, there's something that's driving you, something that's lighting you up, there's a reason for that. That's a
Yes.
sign, from somewhere, somehow, something that it's possible. I was so lit up by figure skating, and I had nothing to do with the industry, yet I ended up as an agent of Olympic champions. I didn't even speak Spanish. I thought I did when I
How's
moved
your
to
Spanish
Spain. And
now?
now, yes. But I moved to Spain. So I think that we are guided by our intuition, and that I would encourage people that when you have this idea or you feel lit up by something, or this is your dream, there's a reason for it, because I don't have the
Mm-hmm.
dream to be in politics per se. Or there's no intuition or anything leading me in that direction. So it's for a reason. So I follow the intuition, and same with the book. I never imagined that I would be an author, but this message moved me so much, and I felt a responsibility in a way that I had been given the secret of life, and I felt a responsibility to share it with other people, so they would suffer less and enjoy more. Which is really what we want in life. It's a way to keep my mom's memory and my dad's memory. I mean, at the time he was alive when the book was published, but it's a way to keep their memory alive. And it gives me so much comfort and happiness to think that if somebody makes one tiny different choice in their day because they read Choose Your Moments, or they took one quote and implemented into their life, and they're happier or better, whatever it may be, that, I think that is the reason that the book exists. So I
Right.
would say definitely follow your dream.
Yes, yes. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always telling people, you wanna, if you, even if you are afraid of asking for that raise, ask for the raise, ask for the position. You'll never know. I asked for a position and it was denying, and I was like, oh yeah, watch me. I learned how to do web design. I went back to school, I learned web design. Had nothing to do with the position that I was asking for, but it had to do with graphic design. And I'm like, okay, if I study this, I am gonna get that position. But you know what, I found something better. I moved
Exactly. You
on.
never know where it'll
And
lead you. But also, like you said, asking for the raise or speaking up when you need to value yourself first if you want anybody else to, right?
right.
So once you in and asking for whatever it may be, a raise, a different job, it can be anything. But first knowing that you believe in that you deserve that you are valuable enough for whatever it may be, you need to give that sign to the universe, to yourself, and then whoever you may be asking for the job or for the raise or whatever is going to, will feel that. If you don't believe it, really believe it and feel it on the inside, nobody else will either. And you have I did have that thought once when I was doing the book, like, who are you to go out there and tell everybody this is the secret to life? But I believe it. I believe it. I live it, and I'm sure of it. Right. So that's who I am to say, and it brings me back to my dad, because he was a litigation lawyer, and he used to say, "What makes you an expert?" And there, all the time. And there, when he asked me about my book, what makes you an expert? And there's a quote in the book that says, leverage what you've learned. And that was my answer. I'm leveraging all the things that I have learned through my personal experience, through my professional experience, through my college education, through the coaching certifications, through all the courses and workshops and things that we engage in. It's putting it into practice.
Right.
And just to be able to believe that we can do that. And we all can.
Thank you so much for tuning into this Monday mini episode of the Unapologetic series. I hope today's answer gave you a little spark of inspiration to carry into your week. And if you haven't had the chance to listen to the full episode yet, this is your reminder. It's waiting for you. Trust me, you don't want to miss the wisdom Elizabeth shared with us. It's never too late, the power of intention and reinvention. And remember, when we stop apologizing for who we are and what we care for, we open the door to growth, confidence, and real transformation. I'll be back with a full conversation later on this week, but until then, keep choosing your moments with intention and never forget, your story matters.